After years of grinding as a tattoo artist in smoky, cramped Brooklyn studios, I finally saved enough to escape the city's chaos. My new lake house wasn't a mansion, but it was my sanctuary, a quiet retreat with a view of shimmering water, a workspace for my ink, and silence so deep I could hear my own thoughts. For a moment, I thought I'd found paradise. That illusion shattered the day I met Karen, the HOA president, who turned my dream home into a battleground and my life into a nightmare. It started innocently enough. I was sipping coffee on my deck, soaking in the lake's calm, when Karen appeared at my door. Her blonde hair was impeccably styled, her khaki pants and white polo screamed suburban authority, and her clipboard might as well have been a loaded gun. "Hi, I'm Karen, HOA president. Welcome to our little community," she chirped, her smile so bright it made my gut twist. I shook her hand, figuring it was just neighborly small talk. I invited her in for coffee, a decision I'd regret for months. She scanned my house like she was casing it, her eyes lingering on my unpacked boxes and tattoo equipment. When I mentioned my plan to run a home studio, her smile froze, her eyes narrowing like I'd just confessed to a crime. "Tattoo artist," she said, the words dripping with disdain. "We have standards here, Mark. This neighborhood has a certain character." I gripped my coffee mug, forcing a calm I didn't feel. "Standards? You mean my work or me?" I asked. She laughed, a sharp, humorless sound, and pulled out her clipboard, rattling off rules about noise, grass height, and commercial activities. It was clear she'd already decided I didn't belong. 2 days later, a note appeared on my door. "Vehicle parked improperly. $200 fine." My truck was in my driveway, same as always, not blocking anything or leaking oil. I called the number on the notice, and Karen's sugary voice informed me that ignorance of the 47-page HOA handbook wasn't an excuse. A week later, another note. "Grass height violation. $175. I measured my lawn with a ruler 3.5 inches, half an inch over the limit. Half an inch, and she wanted $175. Then came the noise complaint. $300 for my tattoo machine, which hums quieter than a fridge because it violated quiet hours. I started to wonder if Karen was unhinged or just enjoyed tormenting me. My neighbor, George, an old man who watched the neighborhood from his porch like it was his personal soap opera, seemed to notice something off. He'd shake his head when Karen prowled by with her decibel meter, his sharp eyes catching details I missed. The harassment escalated. My garden gnome was an unauthorized decorative element. My wind chimes were too loud. My doormat was the wrong size. Each fine was bigger, and I was drowning in fees for things no sane person would notice. At an HOA meeting, Karen stood in a garage packed with folding chairs, her clipboard a scepter, and preached about residents who don't understand our values. She never said my name, but her eyes locked on mine as she proposed banning all business activities from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., a rule that would kill my studio. My neighbors nodded along, spineless, while I sat there, humiliated, in my own community. George caught me in the parking lot afterward. "Son, that woman's not what she seems," he rasped, his voice like gravel. "Used to flip houses in Nevada. Real slick about it." Before I could ask more, he vanished into the dark. His words gnawed at me. I installed security cameras disguised as solar lights, determined to catch Karen's next move. The first week's footage showed her snooping around my trash cans, scribbling notes. Annoying, but expected. Then I saw something that made my blood run cold. Karen, holding keys unlocked my front door and walked in like she owned the place. 20 minutes later, a well-dressed couple arrived with a camera, wandering through my house, snapping photos, measuring windows, even checking my fridge. They moved like they were buying the place, and Karen was their guide, handing them paperwork as they left. She stayed behind, wiping counters, fluffing pillows, watering my damn plant like she was staging a hotel. I watched the footage in my truck, hands shaking. This wasn't just harassment. Karen was running a business out of my home. I dug deeper. Her old LinkedIn profile confirmed George's hint, a decade as a real estate agent specializing in vacation rentals and lakefront properties. Then I found a rental listing for my house on a niche vacation site. Stunning lakefront retreat, $250 per night. Host Karen S. For 0.9 stars, 28 bookings. The photos were my living room, my kitchen, my studio, marketed as a creative workspace. Reviews gushed about Karen's hospitality, one praising the authentic art supplies me supplies. She'd made at least $7,000 renting my home to strangers while fining me for breathing. I felt sick, violated, and furious. The audacity was staggering. She was trashing me to her guests, calling me a clueless owner who didn't maintain the property. I decided to turn the tables. Using a fake profile as Tom Bennett, consultant from Portland, I booked my own house for a weekend, paying Karen $750 to sleep in my own bed. The irony burned, but I needed undeniable proof. Her response was instant. "Thrilled to welcome you, Tom. You'll love this gorgeous retreat." She sent a welcome packet with hiking trails and restaurant tips, plus house rules stricter than any HOA fine. When I asked if the owner knew about the rentals, her reply was chilling. "Haha, don't worry, hon. He's never around and totally clueless. What he doesn't know won't hurt him." I screenshot everything, backing it up across devices. My attorney, a fraud specialist, called it a slam dunk case: fraud, theft of services, breaking and entering. Triple damages could mean $21,000, plus criminal charges. Friday at 6 p.m., I rolled a suitcase up to my own door, heart pounding. Karen greeted me as Tom with a dazzling smile, ushering me into my own living room like a game show host. She gave a tour, gushing about the lake view and my fully stocked kitchen, even pitching the property's investment potential. "Values are skyrocketing," she said. "The current owner's in financial trouble, so this place might not be available long. I could help you make an offer, maybe below market." I recorded it all, pretending to snap photos of the view. Then she slipped up. "The owner doesn't get the property's potential," she said, fluffing my pillows. "His loss is your gain." She handed me a business card, offering to manage other local rentals or facilitate a sale. My house. She was trying to sell my house. Before I could reveal myself, George appeared on the deck, clutching a manila folder. "Mark, you need to see this," he said, his voice cutting through Karen's chatter. Her face drained of color as she realized he'd used my real name. George spread out photos, documents, and notes on my patio table. "She's not just using your place," he said. "She's hit the Thompson cabin, the Garcia cottage, even Mrs. Wilson's house." He showed unposted real estate listings for my property, with Karen as the agent. She was orchestrating a scheme to depress property values for developers, profiting from illegal rentals and sales. Karen stammered, her clipboard useless now. The police arrived in minutes. Karen's arrest in my driveway was surreal, cuffed as officers read charges of fraud, conspiracy, and breaking and entering. George's folder and my recordings sealed her fate. The investigation uncovered her scheme across 4 properties, earning her $12,000 in 6 months while she worked with developers to lowball owners. My neighbors, once silent, came forward with stories of her pressure tactics. The HOA ousted her, electing George as president. He voided her fines, refunding my $2,100. My tattoo business boomed as the story hit the news, clients flocking to the guy who took down the HOA tyrant. 6 months later, I sipped coffee on my deck, watching a foreclosure sign go up at Karen's house. George, now a regular visitor, lit his pipe. "She's bagging groceries now, paying restitution from prison wages," he said. Karen got 3 years for wire fraud and conspiracy, her developer pals facing their own charges. I don't regret pushing the case. She didn't just violate mesh preyed on our community, turning our homes into her profit machine. Justice wasn't just served, it was a reckoning. Some people think I was too harsh, but when someone invades your home, your life, and your peace, you fight back. You don't let them win. Because if you don't stand up, they'll keep walking over you, smiling the whole time.